It's March 27th, 2021, 8:09 p.m., episode 1191. I'm going to show you something today that I don't normally show you, okay? I got to wait for us to get there. This is, what's going to happen is, during this cartoon, proofreader Hillary told me that I left out the N in woman. So there I go, putting in woman. And then I have two proofers. I sent it to Hillary and Laura. Hillary caught it first. There's Hillary on Facebook. Don't go stalk her. And so I'll fix that. Fix it all right there. I thought I was going to go run Photoshop. Oh yeah. And then Laura messages me in a few minutes and tells me that I shouldn't use the word all because that's not in the actual quote. But I made her go watch. Oh well, I didn't tell her, but proofreading the cartoon made her. There she is. Tells me to go fix this. It made her go watch the clip from Blazing Saddles, the movie. And yes, I've used this quote every now and then. I was gonna finish doing my verbs before I fixed it. Watch. Here we go. You're gonna go. Alright, reading. I'm just telling her, okay, you don't want her to think I was ignoring her. Go to Photoshop, fix that. There, move to where. Go back, and then I go back to drawing it. Alright, gotta tell them, okay, we're good. I'll send them copies of the correction just to make sure. Just to double check. We are very, well, I had them pretty much look at everything with the words. Hillary and Laura are both sharp. And, of course, they both caught that one. Some days, the cool thing about using two excellent copy editors for the cartoon is that sometimes, people are human. One will miss one, and then the other one will get that. And plus, the other ones, they'll both have different thoughts sometimes about, I don't know if you should use this phrase correctly, or you can make it simpler if you just move this to that. And sometimes one will just be in the mood to tell me everything's correct. But it varies. And also, with both of them, since they've known me for so long, for like about 20 years, both of them, I think, they'll talk to me about the cartoon sometimes, about the issue. And well, Laura talks to me about the issue almost every morning. Hillary just usually gives me a thumbs up or whatever, but then occasionally we'll talk about something else. But Laura will usually talk about the issue, or the idea even. And sometimes Laura will even tell me, I just don't get it. And you know what? As a cartoonist, you do want people to tell you if they don't get it. People you trust, anyway. And then you have to make that decision if you're going to agree with them or not. And sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't. So it depends. And sometimes you like it too much that you're like, I'm just going to chance it. And if it doesn't work with anybody, then I just lose today. But I'm going to chance that. So that happens every now and then. And then sometimes, they're wrong. And then they sometimes will tell you. And usually whenever Laura tells me that she doesn't get something, she's not telling me it doesn't work. And she'll say, but that's just me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I just don't get it or whatever. So, but then if I get both of them coming at me and saying, hey, I don't get this, then I know it's kind of fucked. So Georgia's election thing, we did that yesterday about the whole water. I don't know if I went into all the details about it. And down here, good timing, Robert Cotino has a really good thought on this. And also, yeah, this video is kind of long. Robert Cotino said, as one Twitter user commented, okay, it's not Robert Cotino's. I'm quoting Robert Cotino, who's quoting a Twitter user. He says, think how this will look. A person passes out due to heat exhaustion. A person attempts to revive the person with water. Let's say a doctor or a nurse. The cops arrest the first responder instead of helping the victim. That's going to go over well on international news. I mean, seriously, we are getting to the point where we're going to need international inspectors to watch our elections, like they do in some violent country like Costa Rica. I'm kidding, not Costa Rica. But, where do they do that now? But, like Iraq or something like that. Yeah, that's what they do there. William Bedner says, Clay, how did you know that Governor Kemp ideas use a fire hose to give certain voters water while waiting in the hot sun to vote? Because he's a Republican. Republicans. This was a fun cartoon to draw, and I started it pretty late, and it's like I'm just going to do a sloppy. Oh, here's another technical aspect for you viewers who like that kind of stuff. Normally, whenever I do a cartoon, I color on a different layer. You create layers. You can do that in Photoshop. You do it here in Corel. And if you don't create another layer, you can't really color on top of ink because it will smear the ink, except with watercolor. And lately I've been trying watercolor more than the acrylics that I have been using maybe consistently for the past couple of years. And I always use watercolor for the rest because it's just so much quicker. But lately, I want to kind of like mess around with watercolor and get better with it and make it look more like it's actual like watercolor, like paint on a canvas, even if it all comes up sloppy. But today I forgot to use that second layer, and I didn't realize it until after I did my first color on the bricks. Near the end, after I did the whole cartoon, I came back and redid the bricks again because I wanted these cells, the bars, to stand out a little bit more. So I made the bricks even a little bit darker. This quote from Blazing Saddles is one that I've used at least, at least twice, I know. But I may have used it 3 times in the past. And every time I do, people love it. Might be getting a little old at this point, but I liked it today. And I'll probably use it again. I should probably wait like 3 or 4 more years before I use it again. But I can do a whole book. Where the White Woman At? I don't remember in the past if I used all or not. One of my favorite movie scenes of all time, though. I also use The Jerk. I use quotes from movies like that. They're all from the 70s, I think. You know, I led me to another video today where Mel Brooks was talking about Richard Pryor's writing on Blazing Saddles, and he was talking about how Richard Pryor didn't really specifically write for the Black Sheriff so much as he wrote for stuff like Mongo, you know. Mongo like candy, and Richard Pryor, he said that Richard Pryor just loved Mongo, like Mongo only pawn in game of life. So Richard Pryor was really going for that kind of stuff. And I also got to see a couple deleted scenes from Blazing Saddles that I've never seen before. Apparently there are 2 other ideas of how to deal with Mongo when he first gets to the town, Rock Ridge. So, and they filmed them, but they just went with the candy one. So. Alright, so we got like 30 more seconds. Here's your cartoon. We are done. And this thing has done pretty well on Facebook. It has 200 shares. I'm going to do another cartoon in the morning because there's just too many subjects. And right now that I got to hit, the next cartoon is going to be something changes. Drumroll, Ted Cruz. Everybody, the CNN cartoon drops tomorrow too, but I did not film that. Please leave a comment and I will say your name on the internet like I did for William Bednar and Robert Coutinho today. And I will see everybody on Sunday. Have a great weekend. Bye. Like candy.